How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Just a couple hours ago, I was talking about stocks that I thought could double, stocks that I've been buying over the last couple weeks, and it was interesting. It was at a time in the day where we're seeing a nice movement up in all the indexes. We were starting to see some more bullish sentiment. We opened up after yesterday. We opened up down a decent amount actually in a lot of the indexes, especially the Nasdaq. We were down about 1.5%. I think a lot of people had listened to the Fed speak yesterday, as had I, and they had heard Jerome Powell say we're expecting inflation, and they didn't hear the second part where he said that that was normal and there would be for a very short amount of time. They wanted inflation. They knew that since we had such low inflation last year that would fall off here soon, that we're going to see higher inflation, and it was transitory. Now, the thing is, we're seeing a lot more inflation now, or we will expect to see a lot more inflation now, and it's scaring the market. Right now, we saw the second half of the day, a lot of these indexes are falling off. We have the Nasdaq that's actually down over 3%. We're seeing different tech companies just being slaughtered over here. You can see some companies down 15 like Lordstown, penny stocks, SPAC stocks, high growth stocks down 5 to 10%. And a lot of them are getting to more attractive valuations. There isn't a lot in the green today. And I want to talk to you about what I'm going to do. So this is kind of similar to what I had said in the past. You know, the stock market crash is coming. A lot of people gave me a hard time for it. A lot of people gave me thumbs down. A lot of people said I was crazy. And the stock market crash is always coming. My point in this video was to make sure that you're well diversified and you have some cash. So short term, I think the market is pretty volatile right now. I think it's hard to tell what's going to happen, whether the big hedge fund managers say, okay, I think we're good. I think we can invest. We'll see a little bit of inflation and then we're fine. Or whether a lot of the big money pulls out of the market saying, hey, we really want to conserve these first quarter profits, or, not come out with too much of a loss to say to our shareholders we took downside protection. So we're going to take our money out of the market, or we're going to put it in recovery stocks, or we're going to do any number of things. We're going to short the market, whatever. We don't know what's going to happen short term, but I would be cautious. I would make sure that you're well diversified. I would make sure you have some cash. I will tell you about something that I heard that was kind of I think a really good story that came out from Warren Buffett, something that he said years ago, and I've talked about it once or twice before, but I think it's really important to remember in tough times what he said, and we'll hit on that in a second. But before we do it, if you guys want, I just have to say this, there are links down there to WeBull in case you want to get a stock trading platform that allows you to see these types of charts and stuff like that. You can definitely check it out. Also, I know a lot of people will be having their first red market here, or have had it over the last couple weeks. In case this makes you really nervous, it shouldn't. It should actually make you excited that you're getting these stocks on a bit of a discount. If you need help with that, if you guys need like some type of help mentally, or looking for different stocks that are good values in the market, you can check out the link down below to the Patreon. I've been trying to help people along, helping them, overcome that mental hurdle of seeing something you put a lot of money in just go down right afterwards, and trying to get over that. I think that's important. So a lot of people jump into the Patreon when the market's going up, but it's just as important on the downturn too. So check out the Patreon link down below. There you can you get all my buys and sells and stuff like that. I come out with what's happening with the market every single day. Now, one thing that I think a lot of people will be doing over the next year is putting money in crypto. As we see more inflation, as we see the Fed printing more money, as we see stimulus and a possible $3 trillion infrastructure bill, I think people will be turning more money into Bitcoin, into Ethereum. Definitely check out the link down below to BlockFi. I know I will be putting more money in Bitcoin and Ethereum, bullish on them just in general. I'm not going to get into some of these other cryptocurrencies as much, at least at this point, but definitely check out that link down below. I really want to build up my position here, and they pay an interest rate. They also pay a bonus, but I'm bullish on this, and I'm going to put more money in it, but I'm also bullish on the growth sector in general. So I'm not going to turn away. I'm not going to sell all my stocks. I'm not going to sell out my positions and try to buy into recovery and then buy back into growth or anything like that. I'm going to continue to buy the stocks that I like. Now, I might pick up a new stock here and there, but really, I'm not trying to diverge into all these different stocks. Really, I want to build up the positions I have the highest conviction in and buy at cheaper prices. So I don't know if we'll see all these stocks get as low as they were before. Now, the treasury yield is ticking up. It's causing a lot of people to be worried. We're seeing higher treasury yields than we've seen in a while, and that might continue. We might see more downside selling pressure or more pressure in the stock market in general, and we might see lower prices. But I'm not going to sell out. I'm going to continue to buy, and I'm not going to try to be greedy. I'm not going to try to wait until the very bottom. I'm going to buy whenever I see an attractive price. If it falls more, I guess that's something that I have to deal with. But something that Warren Buffett said that I've talked about a couple times is the stock market is really an interesting instrument to gain wealth. He was talking about how it's similar to if you bought a farm. You buy a farm because you like what it can do, you like the yield of crop, you like the future potential of it, the earning potential. You don't buy it to speculate necessarily. And maybe you buy this farm, you buy 100 acres at, I don't know, $2,000 per acre or something. So you spend a decent amount of money, and your next door neighbor comes over all the time and says, okay, I'll buy this from you for another $10 more per acre than you paid for it. Well, no, you weren't buying it to be really short term like that. You did the research, you bought it, you're holding on to it for a while. You want to see what it can do. You want to grow it up and increase the profit. So he comes back the next day and says, hey, I'll pay you, instead of what I said yesterday, I'll pay you $1,980 per acre. That doesn't really make you upset, right? That shouldn't make you upset. That's just like a crazy neighbor. And you could use this to your advantage. So if someday he comes over and says, hey, I'll pay you $2,200 per acre. Okay, well, maybe that's a little bit more attractive. Maybe you would take that. Maybe you want to sell at that point. But it shouldn't be something that causes you pain, right? Especially if you did research, especially if you like what you bought originally. Like, that's just some crazy person next to you. That's kind of like the stock market, right? People are offering you less the next day after you bought it, and then they're offering you 10% more the next day. Like, you don't have to sell anything. You can hold on to it through all of this. And if you hold it for a while, it's a company that you like, it shouldn't make you nervous, right? Like a lot of these tech companies that I've been buying, that you've probably been buying, are probably going to be great companies in the long term. Maybe you bought it on a short-term trade. Maybe you just wanted to hold on to it for a little while. But long term, hopefully you're getting companies that are going to grow, become profitable, become more expensive. Hopefully that's something that you can take and actually use to your advantage instead of having them manipulate you. And that's kind of where we're seeing now. We're getting companies that are the same companies we were buying for more before, and now some people don't want to buy, which I understand. It's a little bit of a psychological issue, but I think that we will continue to maybe see some good deals in the market, and hopefully you can take advantage of that. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching. If you guys want to check out the link down below to BlockFi, check it out. If you want to check out the link down to WeBull, you can check that out. Or if you want to get into the Patreon, see what I'm buying and selling, how I'm navigating these difficult times in the market, you can definitely check that out down below too. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video. If you want to see the video that I just did on different stocks that I think could double here, and maybe not the short term, but in the next few years, you can definitely check out this video here on the end screen. Thank you.